back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm gonna bring you along for a delicious recipe for some homemade, from scratch pork sausage. Now, I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna do it on the sagey side because the fall season is all about sage. I have an acorn squash that I wanna stuff, and it requires some sausage, and well, I wanted to have homemade because the stuff that you buy in the store, there's tons of fillers and tons of things in there that you don't need. So I have just fresh ground pork that I ground up. I'm going to show you exactly how easy this is to do on your own. And honestly, you can do this with, you can buy ground pork. You can, I did up a little bit of a pork shoulder. I had a chunk of pork shoulder. So I just used my master meat grinder attachment for my Tupperware master grinder, and oh my goodness, how easy, and it's gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna show you how to make the sausage from scratch, and I'll do a little taste test for you, and then we'll get to the next video where I show you how I stuffed my acorn squash for a fall dinner that is unbelievably comforting and decadent and delicious. All right, let's go make some sausage. Want to? Okay guys, so I have about a pound to a pound and a half of fresh ground pork, and I use pork butt for this, but you could buy it the way you want. I just would prefer that there's no fillers or anything that I don't know about in here. Okay, I'm gonna add some salt just to start with. It doesn't need a lot of salt, but I am going to put the rest of my seasoning over here in this bowl. Now, I need poultry seasoning because I love the sage factor in regular poultry seasoning. I'm doing a teaspoon of that. I also love fennel in any kind of sausage. I don't know, it's amazing. So I'm gonna add about a half a teaspoon of fennel seed. Yum, smells good already. Good teaspoon of ground pepper, okay? And that's a coarse ground pepper. You could grind it all in the fresh, but I'm just doing it that way. And then this is a sausage blend that I get at Sportsman's Warehouse. You can get a blend like this at not Costco, but Cabela's, or you can order it online. And I'm gonna start with, because it's it's a lot of meat here. 3 heaping teaspoons. So I can smell the sage, and I really want that sage forward in this. So I'm gonna get this all mixed up. And again, probably gonna need a little bit more salt, but this probably has a little bit of salt in it. So I'm gonna put a glove on because you're gonna mix it. And I am gonna test out a patty, so I will make sure that the seasoning is right before I decide to use this in my next recipe. I'm only gonna use part of it in one recipe, and part of it is gonna go to another fall recipe, so I hope that you'll stay along. Okay. So add your seasoning blend right to your meat mixture and get to mixing. You don't need to overmix it, you just need it really well incorporated. Pork just takes on such a nice flavor. Easy. How easy is that? You know what's in it. You can pick the cut of meat you want. You can have as much fat or as little fat as you want. This is probably about an 80-20 on the fat to lean meat ratio. I like that marbling that a pork shoulder has, so that's why I use that. Okay. Get this all mixed up, and I'll make a patty, a test patty, and I always do that. And then I'm gonna leave this sit in the refrigerator until I'm ready to make the recipe because I want all the spices to bloom. So this may sit in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours. And it's gonna be so good. You can freeze it like this, or you can, you could cook it right away, honestly, but your flavors are gonna be more incorporated into the meat and really bloom into that meat if you let it sit and kind of marinate, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's make a patty. We'll get it cooked off and I'll bring you back for a taste test and we'll get rid of this. All right. I'm just gonna tell you, this is absolutely wonderful. It has such a great fall flavor between the sage and I detect the fennel. I detect a lot of spices that you would expect from a sausage, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's delicious. I can't wait to show you how I use this for a delicious fall dish. Oh my gosh, wonderful. It's spicy and full of flavor. I mean, it's just bursting with flavor. So I hope that you'll at least take away from this, because every spice blend you get for sausage is going to be a little bit different. But if nothing else, you take away the fact that you can make your own sausage so easy, and you know what's in it. And you can add or subtract salt, pepper, whatever your palate is. I'm going to show you a recipe to use part of that with, and maybe I'll show you a second recipe to use the second half. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe using homemade sausage, or, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you'd like to see next. All right, we'll see you next time.